Today we're touring a stunning lake home that perfectly blends timeless elegance with rustic warmth. You'll want to watch till the end to see all the details. This client came to Golden Eagle Log and Timber Homes looking to blend two different styles. She was looking for a more elegant feel, while he was looking for a more rustic timber feel. I'm told by the customer, we nailed it. Let's go take a look at the great room. Now when we call it a great room, this truly is a great room. Centrally located in the home, right off the dining room and kitchen. We mentioned that he was looking for a more rustic timber feel. How can we overlook these timber trusses above us? Those are massive 10 by 10 decorative timber accent truss up there. Here we've got this excellent gathering space. I mean, just imagine yourself sitting in here. You're hosting a big party. You've got the family over for Christmas, Thanksgiving. You've got the dining room, the kitchen, just everybody together enjoying the space. Over here, we've got a wood-burning fireplace with a gas igniter. I love how the stone not only goes on the chase, but carries over on the sidewall as well. That really ties in with the hand-hewn trim and the hand-hewn siding, and then the elegant whitewash ceiling finish above us. Again, combining that rustic and elegant look that they were both looking for. Another thing about this fireplace is the hearth. Now traditionally, you would see the hearth just in front of the fireplace, but in this case, it extends beyond. Not only does it make the fireplace feel larger, but it's also functional. It could provide additional seating should you need it. We've got an amazing lake view out this wall. These windows are so impressive. They're actually almost 9 feet tall by 5 feet wide. I mean, if you think about that, that is basically a patio door in every section here, wrapped with our impressive 4x12 hand-hewn timber siding. We've got Pella Impervia fiberglass windows throughout this entire home. In this case, we did the bronze color, which plays really nicely with the darker trim that we see throughout. We've got hickory flooring flowing throughout the home. What's really nice about that floor selection is it's two different tones, so you don't get too overwhelmed with just one solid color. I think the dark knots and the darker grain play very nicely off the darker trim colors, while the lighter tones pick up the lighter tones in the stone on the fireplace and the cabinetry and the ceiling finish. Speaking of seating, over here we've got a dining table large enough to fit 12 people. This customer used a black walnut table, which I think plays very nicely off the hickory flooring. The colors really complement each other. And take a look at that chandelier. We talked about wanting an elegant touch. I think they definitely achieved it with that chandelier. Now before we take a look at the kitchen, let's go look at what the customer tells me is the most used room in the house, the Three Seasons porch. What makes this a Three Seasons room is it's actually built right on the deck. Therefore, there's no traditional forced air conditioning, heating. However, we did incorporate these infrared heaters. The client says they can sit out here long into the fall cool nights and still enjoy the space. Something else you might not see every day are these Three Seasons windows. What's really nice about these is during the summer, you can pull the panels out, giving yourself more of a screen porch feel. Then as the temperatures cool off, or maybe on those rainy nights, you simply put the panels back in, and now you can still enjoy the room. Right off here, we've got access to the deck, but we'll cover that later. Let's go take a look at the kitchen. Here in the kitchen is where I think the client was really able to achieve that elegant look they were going for. By using white cabinets, but with a gray glaze, which plays off very nicely with the honed black Nero granite countertop and the gray backsplash. I think that all ties in really good. The cabinets wrap around, even right around the edge here, out into the foyer, which is a very nice touch. And here we've got this massive island. This island is really multifunctional. Not only does it provide seating, but as we wrap around, we've got the wine cooler with a nice space for beverage making. And here we got the prep sink. So just imagine, you can quickly come in, make yourself a drink, head back in and finish watching the big game without interrupting everybody in the kitchen. And as we come around the island, I think it's really important to point out just how well laid out this kitchen is. When you work with Golden Eagle Log and Timber Homes, you get our kitchen designers at your service, and they did a phenomenal job here. We've got the dishwasher designed just past the edge of the island so that when it's fully open, you still have plenty of walk space and doesn't create that pinch point. We've got convenient appliance locations with the double oven on one wall and your microwave drawer just right across from it, all conveniently located right next to the fridge. So when you're pulling food out, you can prep it right here and heat it up. And just off the kitchen, we've got a pantry to take a look at. In this pantry, customers opted not to go with cabinetry. Instead, they did open shelves. That's really great for larger appliances. If you want to be able to come in and still see what's in here, easily grab it. Up above the countertop, we've got solid wood shelves. Those tie in very nicely with all the beamwork, trim work that you see throughout the home. Not only is this pantry conveniently located off the kitchen, but also just steps away from the garage. Imagine you're coming home, you got your arms full of groceries, you don't want to have to walk too far. Here you can just walk right in the pantry and put everything away. So here in the mudroom, we've got this built-in bench. It's a really nice spot for when you're coming in and out of the garage. Take off your shoes, hang up your coat. Right off over this side, we've got this closet. Very convenient for additional storage for cleaning supplies, maybe extra winter coats. And speaking convenience, we've got zero entry coming in from out of the garage. What's really nice about that is there's no steps when you walk in from the garage. And speaking of the garage, we got a lot of great ideas to show you out there later. But for now, let's head back in. And as your guests come in, they're greeted by this massive foyer. Now just imagine, you got a bunch of people over, coming and going. This space is large enough that you can easily put your coat on, put your shoes on, say your goodbyes, your hellos without getting in each other's way. Over here we have our chiseled tongue and groove wall finish. This is a proprietary texture to just Golden Eagle. Up above we've got a massive 4x10 bandboard wrapping the ceiling, and then we top it off with our whitewashed Timberlake ceiling finish. Right off the foyer is a half bath. A couple unique things about this space is the vessel sink. We've also got the awning style window with obscured glass. Still allows natural light to come in, but gives enough privacy. I really like the vanity choice they went with as well. Having that open shelf at the bottom, allowing that flooring to flow underneath. In a smaller space, it really makes it feel bigger. Now the location of this bathroom was really well thought out. Not only is it conveniently located right next to the garage for when you first get home, it's also tucked around the corner from the kitchen, still accessible, but yet gives privacy, and it's going to serve for a special outdoor space that we'll show you later in the film. Now let's head back over this way. So here we are in the master suite, and the first thing that hits me when I walk in this room is just how impressively tall these ceilings are. We're just under 18 feet tall in here. We're featuring the 4x8 beam work up there. In this space, we transitioned from the lighter ceiling finish to the more darker, richer brown. It really brings a warmer feeling into this space. This master bedroom is designed at the corner of the home. So when I look out these windows or the patio doors, I see nothing but lake in both directions. Right off the patio door, we've got this excellent space for sitting, enjoying that cup of coffee, and just taking in those views. Heading down the hallway towards the master bathroom, we've got his and her closets on both sides, and then we enter this phenomenal bathroom. We've got his vanity on one side, we've got her vanity on the other side with a makeup counter. We've got the zero entry tiled shower. What's great about that is a lot of times in the tiled shower, you might end up with a curb transition over into the shower. Here we've designed the shower to sink down into the floor system. So should you ever end up in a walker or need assistance to get in and out, you don't have that curb to step over. And then directly behind me, we've got the water closet hidden behind the pocket door. Now talking about the vanities, a couple things I'd like to point out. Here we use the deep drawers in the base that provides excellent storage for whether it be towels or hair dryers, things like that. We're using the utility cabinet on top, gives you ample storage above. And then on this side is dedicated for her. Conveniently designed with a lower makeup desk. We've got the tower here for additional storage. The double doors underneath the sink giving you full storage there. Now, right around the corner from the master bedroom is the office. Everybody always talks about how they want the corner office with the view. Well, I think they got it here. Look at that view out those windows. Two directions. We're featuring our hand-hewn bandboard and beam work on the ceiling. We've got the hand-hewn casing around the doors. And speaking of doors, this home features 8-foot tall, 2-panel arched knotty pine doors throughout the first floor. Just gives it that more luxurious grand feel. Now this is a Golden Eagle log and timber home, but that doesn't mean you can't have drywall finishes. A lot of customers are blending drywall with timber trims, maybe some log accents. And right around the corner, we've got the centrally located laundry room. Now this is really conveniently designed, close to the master bedroom where most of the laundry will be created, but also conveniently located right at the bottom of the stairs for your guests when they're over. Now the door going into the laundry is worth mentioning. We incorporated textured glass on this door. It almost gives it a feeling like there's another window or even a piece of artwork hanging here versus just a standard door. As I come into the laundry room, I'm blown away by the amount of cabinetry we have in here. Look at all the workspace we have too. I mean, you've got plenty of countertop space for folding clothes. You've got a laundry sink here. This sink is actually 16 gauge steel, so it's quieter and more dent resistant. Wrapping around, we've got the pedestal washer and dryer. Lowered down the cabinetry so that you can still easily reach above and access it. Now before we head up the stairs, we gotta take a second to appreciate this artwork. Look at these timber stairs. It features 3 hand-hewn stringers, massive 4x12 treads, our timber-worn edge railing and spindles, and these 8x8 hand-hewn posts. I think this staircase really makes a statement. Not only does it have that timber rustic vibe, but also hits the elegant features that the client was looking for. As we come up to the loft, it just keeps getting better and better. The first thing I notice when I get up here is that amazing view to the lake. And here's a tip. When you're designing the home, we kept the timber accent truss pulled up just slightly enough so that it didn't obstruct the views out the windows. And speaking of that timber accent truss, look at those massive 10x10 timbers up there. We could do that using 8x8, 12x12, or 10x10s when working with Golden Eagle. Here we're carrying that same timber-worn edge railing and spindles as we did on that amazing staircase. Another thing I'm impressed with when I come up into this loft is just the amount of space up here. I mean, look at, we've even got a piano. We've got this excellent area for sitting, playing games, and over here, we've even got a small kitchenette. Imagine you got guests over. They get thirsty in the middle of the night, they want a glass of water. They can just run over here and grab a glass of water without having to go downstairs. Or imagine they wake up in the morning, they don't want to disturb everybody else downstairs, so they go ahead, they can have a cup of coffee, sit here on this couch, and enjoy the sunrise coming off the lake. Upstairs, we've got 2 identical bedrooms. Let's go take a look at one of them. We've got the tall vaulted ceilings, and just look at all that timber work up there. I mean, we've got the timbers wrapped in these inverted valleys. We've got the bandboard. We've got the ridge beam with the ceiling fan mounted. Another thing in these guest bedrooms is both of them feature dormers. What's really nice about a dormer is, picture this, the ceiling would have naturally sloped following these lines. But by framing this dormer out, we pick up this extra space. We also get the window looking out to the lake. In this case, we've got a desk, could be a nice sitting area, Really just gives you that flexible space to do whatever you're looking to achieve. Now in the bathroom, we're carrying that same wood ceiling finish. We've got hand-hewn shelving. We've got a nice tiled tub shower unit. I always tell people it's handy to have at least one tub in the house in case you have small children visiting. Really turned out nice. And this door here leads to a unique space over the garage that we'll discuss later in the tour. Here we are in the finished lower level family room. This is a great spot to get creative with some of your wall finishes. For an example, take a look at this custom art piece right here that greets you right as you come into the space. As we come around, we've got a second fireplace. In this case, we used a gas fireplace for the lower level. Look at the size of that chase though. Carried that stonework that was upstairs all the way down. Really sets the tone down here. And look at, we still have the views of the lake from down here. While you're shooting pool or playing games, you're not missing out on those views. We wrapped the windows with our 2x6 hand-hewn trim. We're featuring our chiseled tongue and groove on the walls. And then on the ceiling, we carried that same darker tongue and groove from upstairs down here. Another thing to mention in this family room is this pool table. You'll take a look, you'll notice that the rails and the sides are actually made out of material from Golden Eagle Log and Timber Homes. That's our chiseled tongue and groove finish right there. These were some of our rails that they quartered and used to wrap the top. Now making our way over this way, the client tells me that the backer behind this dartboard is actually old dock pieces from an existing dock that was on the property. And right through here, we've got some overflow storage. Let's go take a look. Now just imagine, you're coming in off the lake, you got your life vest, you got wet towels. This is a great spot to come right in off the lake. You got easy access to drop all those wet clothes. You've got convenient laundry set up right over here, and we've got overflow storage for all those lake toys. Now there's a door right over here that leads to another space, but we'll show you that a little bit later. On this end of the lower level, we've got a nice big bedroom off to one side. This bedroom features amazing lake views, big enough for 2 beds. And on the other side of the hallway, we've got a full bathroom. Now a couple unique things to point out in this bathroom. One, you'll notice the room is split into 2 separate spaces. By using a pocket door, we're able to divide off the shower and the toilet room and still have access to a vanity. Imagine if someone came in off the lake, they'd want to take a shower, but you still need access to the sink. We can do that here. Another really nice thing I think they did in this room is the use of brick. We don't see that all the time, but it really plays nice in this space. And at the end of the hallway is the lounge. This room really sets the tone for entertaining. As you enter the space, you're greeted by the reclaimed boards on the ceiling. They even used reclaimed timbers from the original home that sat on this property. Now you may have noticed this in every room throughout the tour. This home is smart enabled. These are Google Nest Minis built right into the wall. You can control the music right from your phone or the main tablet upstairs. They also double as an intercom system. These are really great for if you're hosting gatherings. You can take the music with you throughout the home wherever the party goes. And speaking of party, over here we've got the built-in wet bar. I think this really plays in nice with the timbers on the ceiling. We've got the heavy hand-hewn timber shelving. We've even incorporated some metal accents in the upper cabinet doors. We carry that same rugged brick backsplash that we saw in the bathroom. And then we have a leathered granite countertop with a rock chip edge. Really just adds to that rugged feel of this room. And speaking of rustic rugged feel, we've got a finished concrete floor. What's great about that in this application is we've got the patio door that takes us right out to the beach, the outdoor dining area, the fire pit. By leaving the floor concrete, you're able to come in and out with wet shoes, easily grab a drink, head right back out to the party. You don't have to take your shoes on and off. Makes cleanup really easy. And we even have a bathroom conveniently located right next door. And another thing, this entire lower level features in-floor heat. Let's head outside now. And as we exit the lounge, the customer made great use of this covered porch space just below the sitting deck. Excellent for those nights when you want to sit out. Maybe it's raining, still want to be outside. Sit at the table over here. We continue on over here. We've got the flagstone patio. We've got a gas-lit wood-burning fire pit. And all this slopes right down to the lake, where we even got another fire pit and some sitting right by the dock. And I just love how this house looks from the lake. Looking back at the house, you'll notice we've got 4 different textures on the home. We're featuring our 2x8 chiseled shiplap siding. We've got the board-on-board in the one gable. We've got the stonework around the foundation and the walkout wall. And we've even got shakes at the other gable. We also did a great job designing this deck. We've got outdoor sitting just off the master. We used our black metal spindles so that we didn't obstruct the view to the lake from the deck. We've got the stairs discreetly tucked in over in the corner so that they're not taking up too much space or obstructing any of the outdoor living space that the client might want to use underneath the deck. And from outside, you'll notice just how massive that feature wall is. This house measures just under 35 feet tall from the grade up to the roof peak. We've got our impressive 4x12 chiseled trim on the feature wall. Now, if you're planning on building on a lake lot, this is definitely something you'll want to consider. These double doors lead to the subterranean garage. This is really convenient for storing paddle boards, kayaks, all the water toys, tubes, rather than carrying them all the way around to the garage. Another great feature about this area is the timber framed eyebrow roof. Really dresses up that entrance. Here we are in the subterranean garage. Now earlier I mentioned this would be a great space for storing lake toys. In this case, the client opted to use it as a workshop. This could be used as a theater room, a gym, or even a tucked under garage. We used hollow core panels on the ceiling to span the first floor garage. We poured the foundation walls further down so that we could actually utilize this square footage. Now remember, we're on a narrow lake lot, so the customer didn't have the ability to do multi-buildings. That's why they opted to go ahead and put the workshop underneath the garage. And as we carry around to the front of the home, you'll notice this impressive retaining wall. These boulders blend so nice with the stone on the home. This is why it's important for us to know about your lot. Get a survey, a topo map. You'll notice that this is a narrower lake lot. It's got some setbacks due to the DNR, and it's got some topography that we had to deal with. But we took all that into account to design this beautiful home and achieve everything the client was looking for. And as we wrap around to the front of the home, we've got a 3-car garage that features 2 dormers. The dormers are a really great way to add curb appeal, but in this case, they're multifunctional. The client wanted to be able to expand the home for future generations to come. So we've actually doubled the square footage of the garage by adding a bonus room above there. That space is all prepped to be finished off for a future private suite. With the dormers, they'll have windows, great views, nothing will be lost up there. Now, in addition to the 3-car garage, we've also got a 1-car detached garage for extra storage. It even features a bell tower from the original home that sat on this property. But my favorite feature of this garage is this view. Let's go take a look at that. How many garages do you know that have a lake view like that? This garage also incorporates 10-foot ceilings, insulated walls, the same trim that's used on the inside. So it's not just a garage, it's really an expansion of the footprint of the home. You could be out here having big parties, hosting guests. If it's raining outside, you're still covered and still taking advantage of a great view outside. We've got the subterranean garage below us, main floor garage right here, and then the future private suite up above us. That's a way that Golden Eagle's design team was actually able to add square footage to the home without increasing the footprint on this narrow lake lot. As you enter the home, you're greeted by this impressive front porch. We've got these massive 2-foot by 2-foot stone pillars supporting this amazing timber accent truss above us. We come inside, we've got stamped concrete finish, giving it a plank look. We've got our 2x8 shiplap chiseled siding, giving it that real rustic look. We've got our tongue and groove ceiling finish and our chiseled board-on-board texture above us. Coming up to the front door, we've got a convenient entrance with a 0 entry right in this impressive 6-foot wide by 8-foot tall front door. Now this might seem bigger than your average porch. The reason why is it actually doubles as a tennis pavilion. Over here, we've got a full-size tennis court, pickleball, and even a basketball hoop. And that's what's so great about building a brand new Golden Eagle log and timber home. We've built over 6,000 homes, and we understand it's not just about building a home, it's about building a destination, a place where the family wants to come and gather and spend time together. So if you're ready to start building your legacy home, give us a call today.